Imagine this. Deep inside a freezing Siberian cave, scientists picked up what looked like a small piece of stone. But under the microscope, they realized it wasn't a stone at all. It was a fragment of bone, a finger bone, to be exact. And this tiny piece changed everything we thought we knew about human history. It didn't belong to us. It didn't belong to Neanderthals. It belonged to another kind of human we had never seen before. A mysterious cousin called the Denisovans. Who were they? Why did they vanish? And why are scientists today saying that learning about Denisovans is the key to unlocking our own story? We've all heard about Neanderthals, the rugged hunters of Europe. But Denisovans, hardly anyone had heard about them until just a few years ago. In 2008, in the Altai Mountains of Siberia, inside what is now called the Denisova Cave, archaeologists found those fragments. A finger bone from a young girl, a giant molar tooth, later even parts of a jawbone. On their own, these seem small, but inside those bones was hidden an entire genetic library, the DNA of a forgotten people. When scientists decoded it, they realized they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. These bones didn't match humans. They didn't match Neanderthals. They belonged to a new branch of the human family tree. The Denisovans lived thousands of years ago, around the same time as us and Neanderthals. They walked the same earth, hunted the same animals, and looked up at the same stars. Yet somehow they vanished almost without a trace. But here's the surprising part. They weren't limited to one cave in Siberia. Evidence shows Denisovans spread widely, across Asia, into Tibet, and even down to islands like Papua New Guinea. Imagine that, a whole population of humans we never knew existed, living and moving across continents. And here's where the story gets even more fascinating. Denisovans didn't just live alongside us. They became part of us. They had children with humans, which means their DNA still lives inside many of us today. Some people in East Asia carry Denisovan genes. In places like Papua New Guinea, some communities have up to 5% Denisovan DNA. One Denisovan gene, for example, helps people in Tibet breathe comfortably at extremely high altitudes. Without it, survival above the Himalayan peaks would be nearly impossible. That means the ability to climb Mount Everest or live in the cold, thin air of Tibet is partly a gift from Denisovans. But their genetic influence goes further. Some Denisovan DNA boosts our immune system, protecting us against certain diseases. In short, we owe part of our survival as a species to them. Yet despite all this, Denisovans remain almost invisible in history. Unlike Neanderthals, who left behind cave art and stone tools, Denisovans gave us only whispers. A few bones, a bit of DNA, and endless questions. What did they look like? Were they tall giants, as some clues suggest? Were they stronger than us, or perhaps more skilled at surviving in cold, harsh climates? Scientists still don't know. And that mystery leads to something intriguing. Across Asia, ancient legends speak of giants, mountain spirits, and strange, powerful beings. Could these myths be faded memories of encounters with Denisovans? Could our ancestors have met them, feared them, or even worshipped them, and then passed down those stories through myth and folklore? Some researchers believe so. Others say it's only coincidence, but the possibility remains. Maybe our mysterious cousins are the roots of those timeless legends? Why is this important to us today? Because Denisovans remind us that the human story is not a simple straight line. For most of history, we weren't alone. We shared this world with other humans, Neanderthals, Denisovans, and maybe even more we haven't yet discovered. Our past is full of forgotten cousins. And learning about Denisovans doesn't just satisfy curiosity, it changes how we see ourselves. They shaped our DNA. They shaped our survival. They may even have shaped our cultures through stories and myths. Every breath we take at high altitude, every immunity our body carries, could be traced back to them. Their disappearance also warns us of how fragile life can be. Here was a people who spread across continents, who adapted to mountains and jungles, and yet they vanished so completely that only a few bones tell their story. If they could disappear, what about us? Will we too one day leave behind only fragments for future beings to wonder about? The Denisovans are not just a mystery of the past, they are a mirror to us. They show us that we are part of a much bigger, more tangled family tree. A tree full of branches, some broken, some surviving. They remind us that we are not as alone or as unique as we once believed. And maybe, hidden in more caves, in more forgotten valleys, there are still secrets waiting. Bones, tools, or even evidence that Denisovans were far more advanced than we know. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding them and ourselves. So what do you think? Were Denisovans just another type of human lost to time? Or could they hold the key to our deepest mysteries? The source of legends about giants and lost civilizations? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Mysteries in Stone, where the secrets of the past are never truly buried.